Hey, what is up guys? DRC3 here, back with another My Hero Ultra Impact video. And today we are going to be going over the brand new PvP tier list because of the anniversary characters that have just come out. It's been a while since I've done one of these tier lists, much less a PvP one. The reason I've been holding off is just to get a couple of characters. I don't want to do this every time a character comes out, but I figure the first anniversary is a great time to do this because now we have quite a few characters since the game launched on global back in February. So I'm going to be going over pretty much all of those characters with the exception of Nijire, who have came out since then, and tell you where I'm going to place them in this tier list now. Everything else I pre-placed because otherwise this would have been a ridiculously long video. So where you see everything where it's at right now, that is approximately where I would put those characters. You know, feel free to agree or disagree. One thing to note about my tier list is I do have a double S tier, which are characters that just really shine in PvP. Like, they are almost, if you have them, a must-have on your team compared to other characters. And this is coming from someone who has been in Legend every season since the game launched on Global, and I am currently, I think, almost in top 1 again for this new season. It started like 2 or 3 days ago, so I am going against the best of the best, S Blue, J Fanta, all those guys who are at the top. So hopefully by now, after a few months of playing, I know a little bit about what I'm talking about. But, you know, feel free to disagree or agree down in the comments below. That's all up to you. These are, once again, just my opinions of where the characters should be and where I think they rank currently in the current PvP meta. So let's get going now that the PvP meta has completely changed. Let's talk about where these characters should go. I'm going to go in order from their release. I already have them in order down here on the To Be Decided tab. I'm going to start with the Red Todoroki and where he should go. Okay, so Red Todoroki is actually used quite a bit in PvP, especially at the higher tiers. Even now with the new Anniversary Bakugo and the new Midoriya in the game, Red Todoroki is still a very viable pick, especially a viable pick with these two in the game because he can interrupt skill chains with his Frostbite. Frostbite is so ridiculously good in PvP, guys. It's, like, honestly amazing. A really good effect. The problem with Red Todoroki is he doesn't always hit the Frostbite, and he is kind of a niche character. Like, he needs to go with certain other characters to work, otherwise he'll just get bursted down really fast by like this Bakugo and Midoriya. So you'll see him more often like on defense, just run for that Frostbite, but I think most times when you see him, people know he's going to die, so sometimes people run him on the sub slot. He's ran everywhere. He's ran on the sub slot, he's ran on the main slots, but yeah, mainly for his Frostbite. So I'm going to move him. I'm probably going to put Red Todoroki. He's better than A tier. Yeah, we'll put him in S tier. I would put him as an S tier unit. He's not quite double S, definitely not double S. I don't think he's low enough to be A tier anymore, and I do think he is S tier. Okay, so I'll put him in S tier. Dabi, on the other hand, Dabi has his 2 attack alls. He can burn. He gets more powerful and crit and stuff as he gets burned himself, and so that makes him very good for PvP, and the fact that he can attack all a lot more often than not, though, he's going to be ran in a sub slot. So the fact that he's running a sub slot more often than a regular spot, I'm going to put him in A tier. All right, and then Amajiki, Sun Eater. This guy is really starting to shine in PvP. Back when he first came out, he wasn't all that great, but now with the new characters Bakugo and Midoriya, this Amajiki is really good for his bind, and you'll see him run with the Mirio a lot, actually. Him and Mirio will be ran together because they both can draw aggro and they can bind and do a bunch of other stuff that's just really good for PvP and really good when it comes to fighting these two guys right here. And so that puts him, actually, he's moved up probably since he came out as a character. And I would say now he is S tier. Same thing with Mirio. Mirio's moved up along with him, becoming more valuable with his dodge and his ability to draw aggro, just because of these two guys being so insane right here. They have really shaken up the meta. All right, and then Yaoyorozu, a really good healer. Definitely not as good as Nijire, who we have up in SS up here. Like, Nijire is still a must-have, a ridiculously good support. She's the best support in the game. Probably will be for a while. I don't expect that to change anytime soon. But Yaoyorozu has her damage mitigation, her heal as well. Like, in one move, her heal and damage mitigation, which is really, really good. Especially if you pair her with the UR Red Kirishima. If you have Kirishima drawing aggro with the red Yaoyorozu on your team, it can reduce that damage all the way to like 0. But because she needs to be ran with like other red characters to get her full benefit of her auto skill, I would still put her in A tier, because otherwise one of her auto skills is effectively not being used all that much. Okay, and so I also moved Red Kirishima down. I'll just note this while I'm here too, from S tier to A tier, because, and I've been saying this for a while, I really like Blue Kirishima because of the barriers. There's memories that can give him defense reduction, whereas Red Kirishima only has defense reduction and can only get his barriers on his plus ultra. It's a lot easier to kill the Red Kirishima with this new Midoriya and Bakugo, because he only has defense reduction, than it is to kill the Blue Kirishima, because I hit them with Midoriya or Bakugo, the normal 80,000 damage these guys are doing hits a barrier, the barrier completely nullifies the damage, whereas this Kirishima can still be bursted down and killed, unless you're running him with the Red Momo. The Red Momo can definitely work with the Red Kirishima, but because they're both kind of niche characters, they need to work together, they have been moved down to A tier. Okay? And then Iida, my guy. A lot of controversy around this guy when he came out. His double attacks are really good, but there's a 9-turn cooldown for his double attacks. He doesn't really work well on defense because he won't use his 9-turn cooldown skill first on defense, which makes him kind of weird. And you won't see him run too much on offense either. I honestly haven't seen too many people running Iida in PvP at all. And so for that reason, just because he's kind of quirky and doesn't really work out that well in PvP, I'm going to put him in B tier. Now when it comes to VE Tower, it's a very different story. But for PvP, Iida is definitely B tier. Okay? And now we're going to talk about Jiro. Jiro is the bait before the anniversary. You know, people were scared to summon on her. I summoned on her, actually got her on my first daily summon. Was ridiculous. I'm never gonna like stop talking about that because it was crazy and I was so hyped. But I really think this Jiro is amazing for VE Tower. I think she's going to be amazing in PvP because of the fact that she has 2 attack alls. She has the ability to confuse, and she has the ability to lower the opponent's defense. Like, that is just an amazing kit right there. However, I'm going to put her on the same level as Dabi, basically, because she has those attack alls. She has the damage reduction on the enemy. She has the status ailments. But at the same time, she's definitely not a Kirishima who can tank everything. She's not a Todoroki who can freeze, increase skill impact, and do all that other stuff. You know, like, she's okay, but she's just not that good, and she can be bursted down, like, really, really fast, really easily. But if you have some protection, she can definitely be very good. But she just doesn't have any real defense of her own, and she doesn't have super amazing speed. Her speed is decent, but it's not super amazing. So she's going to go in A tier. Alright, and now we come to the moment you guys have all been waiting for. We're going to talk about the brand new Fantasy Bakugo and the brand new Fantasy Deku. Alright, so let's start with the Bakugo. This guy, everybody saw his stats before he came out and stuff like that. If you haven't watched those videos, they were in those videos that I did as well. He is nuts. He gives himself crits. He gets more powerful the more temporary buffs he has, which is what Overwhelm is. If you don't know what Overwhelm is, I did a video on Overwhelm and Persistence for these two guys. But basically, he'll just get more powerful as he gets more temporary buffs. You can put a memory on him. The new UR memory that came out with him gives him temporary buffs as well. And he gets stronger and stronger as the battle goes. He can basically do his stun grenade on all 3 enemies and hit them for like 40,000 and kill all 3 of them. Absolutely insane when it comes to the amount of damage. He can tank with the new UR memory. He, man, he is just amazing. And he has decent speed, not the highest speed of any Bakugo, but pretty decent. I have him level 100, very first character I got to level 100 out of these two, and I have not regretted my decision since. Absolutely amazing, and a lot of times he'll end up surviving longer than the Deku does because of his typing. Destruction type, he doesn't get targeted as much as Deku. Red Deku gets targeted a lot more, so he ends up surviving longer, which is nice too. I'm going to put him in double S tier, obviously, because he is just insane, and we've been talking about him shaking up the meta, so definitely the meta shaker. Alright, meta shaker. And now we're going to talk about the Deku, the Fantasy Deku. So where we're going to put this guy is still double S tier. He's going to go in at double S tier with Bakugo up here. The reason I am putting Deku in double S tier is because of his persistence and the fact that he gets stronger the more he gets hit. This is the first character that does this, and it is absolutely amazing. I was a little sketchy at first when I didn't know what persistence was when the announcement was made for these characters. I thought, oh great, it's just another Deku that's going to hurt himself. This is going to suck. And I was completely wrong. I'm very, very happy to say I'm completely wrong. We have like the new best PvP character in game. It's debatable which one's better actually out of the Bakugo and Midoriya, but the Midoriya is just so ridiculous. The only thing that can be bad about him is his persistence. You know, you get that last stand and then it doesn't matter, you got below 20% health. So your persistence activates, and even if you were to heal your character like with Nijire here, back up to half health, he's still going to die in 3 turns no matter what. So keep that in mind. If your persistence activates, you're dying in 3 turns. So that's the only bad thing about him. But the good thing about him is he can take hits for 3 turns at 0 health and not die, and then hit back for like 50 to 99,000, which is a ridiculous amount. He hits the damage cap so often that this character is absolutely freaking insane, guys. All right, and I think that about does it for my tier list. Really quickly, let me just go over the double S tiers, who else I'm putting up here, and then we'll end off this video. So, Nijire, obviously, still best healer in game. Blue Hawks has moved up in the tier list recently from the time that he came out. Unfortunately, he still has a damage cap of 60,000 for whatever reason. I don't know if they're ever going to change that to 99,000 like the other characters. I don't see why they wouldn't. But he's still very good because with this Blue Hawks level 100 and Aizawa put together, you can actually burst down this Deku and kill him before he ever gets his persistence. Persistence kicks in when he hits 20% health. So if you one-shot him from like 30% health, 40% health, or anything above 20%, he will die without ever activating persistence, which is what this Blue Hawks is really good for. Also, Blue Hawks has a high amount of speed, making him absolutely amazing to combat this new meta. And then Aizawa, he has always been up there. He is ridiculous. Probably still top 3 character in the game. Still maybe my number 1 realistically in terms of overall usage because he has his binds, he has his debuffs. He can do a bunch of damage. Just really, really good. Also very good for combating this Bakugo and Midoriya here as well. Okay, guys, and if you would like any further explanations on any of these other characters, you know, let me know in the comments if you want me to explain why I put these characters where I put them. But I feel like for the most part, people can figure it out for themselves if you've used these characters at all. We're far enough into the game by now that you guys can probably understand where I'm coming from with where I put these characters. So this is the PvP tier list. There can be a PvE tier list, like a VE Tower one, or a USJ one, or whatever you guys want, or just an overall tier list, like where I might put characters, if you guys want that. But only if you guys go down there and hit that like button, get this video, I don't know, let's make it something like 20 likes. 20 likes, if you get this video to 20 likes, I will do a VE Tower video where I rank all these characters for VE Tower, which ones are good, which ones are bad, so on and so forth for critical hits, technical hits, and all that good stuff. Additionally, guys, I will be posting, you might notice all of these new assets here. I have went and taken all of the stuff from the My Hero Ultra Impact database, the website, and I have gone and made my own pictures so that you guys can see their names, so that you can see their typing, and not just a picture of their faces. And I'm gonna do you guys one better. If you would like to make your own tier list, if you like to mess around with these things, so you don't have to go do this yourself and make these yourself, I will include these assets in a Google folder, Google Drive folder below in the video description. So if you guys want these pictures to make your own tier list on Tier Maker, go and check that out. If you guys enjoyed the video, please consider leaving a like, commenting, or subscribing. Like I just said before, if we get to 20 likes, I will do a part 2 with the VE Tower. I am trying to reach 1,000 subscribers, guys, so every subscription helps. You know, subscribe to me, and it helps me out, and it also helps you out because you get daily My Hero Ultra Impact content that will help you understand what's going on in the game, and hopefully help you guys beat things that you might be having trouble beating. Anyways, guys, that's it for the video. Thank you for watching. Peace.